Cape Wrath Trail is fantastic, but once you've done it, you might look for something a bit more challenging. The Iona Cape Wrath Trail is 400 miles compared to the Cape Wrath's 230 miles. Starting from Glasgow, you get a train, then a ferry, then a bus, then another ferry over to the island of Iona. St Columba's Bay is 4 kilometers walk down to the bottom of the island. It's where St Columbus in 563 arrived to bring Christianity to Scotland. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to start the boat now. So very excited to do that. So this is kilometer 0 of, who knows, up to 1,000. So it's back 4.5 kilometers to the ferry, and then another 5.5 kilometers down to the first campsite. This section of the trail is quite flat, and you have to be careful to make sure you pick up enough water along the way. So this trail is adventurous, I must say, surprisingly so, and it was a good path, and now it's turned into nothing. I found a rock here that I can stand on and look around, and this is the direct route, and according to the map I should go over there, though it looks easier to, in the first place, to have gone up that way. Fortunately, it's maybe where the path has gone. In fact, I'm going to go that way because I know that I can get through there and maybe avoid going uphill and through trees at the same time. Alright, well, I'll let you know how it goes. I've fought my way through and the path continued, and now I'm on that path, which is great. But now it started raining, so and this is usual. I tried to use the compass I brought with me, and I've been storing it in with my phone and my sat-nav navigator, so I think it was just going crazy with that. And I'm going to actually try and keep it isolated and see if it will go back to the correct thing. But at the moment it seems to think north is south. I kind of went north a bit instead of going towards the coast, and that took me into more boggied ground. And the coast is just up and down, and the beaches are beautiful. The sun came out and there was blue sky, and it was wonderful. But it was just up and down all the time. No big hills, just small mounds and rough ground. Eventually I got onto a wee farm track which took me up towards the forest, and then a horrible bit to cross into the forest, and then there was a road, and I followed the road all the way along, which was great again, until the end of the forest, and then I had to cross the boggy terrain again at the end of the day when I was tired, and it just started raining as I finished putting up the tent. I found a nice place to camp just on the left here by the stream. And the next adventure is getting down to the shore and following the shore right round the peninsula. So here we are starting down the trail.
I won't keep it in my hand for too long because it's steep. Let's see if we can get any useful footage. This morning it started raining last night, so it's been raining since then. So everything will be a wee bit more difficult, I presume. Right, and here is where we've come from. Down the right hand side path is better, and we're going down there. So no biggie. This is the path, a wee bit sketchy. It's a goat's path, or deer path, very little human activity down here. And this is the beautiful falls.
This is an important day. Is it possible to get along the coast? If it is, then this is going to be spectacular. And it continued to rain, but the path was there. Small goat's path, and it's not too difficult to follow. And after about half an hour, 45 minutes, I got the first glimpse of the Karseg Arches.
Well, here we go. Woohoo! First sight of the arches, and they look amazing.
So they are absolutely amazing, and rarely visited because of the exposure on the path over.
So, this is where people say it's a bit tricky. Where you last look. I'll see if I can give some sort of route description before on the journey across here. So there is the path. I think and I'm just about through, a wee bit more. I didn't want to stop on those tricky bits. It's just exposed. Glad I won't have to do that again. But I'm glad I had my sticks with me, and a bit shaky after doing that. So at your own risk. Okay, so I'm gonna head for better ground. I think you can see pathwise. We're going big finger here, and along the top here, and along the top and round the corner there, which you can see about here, a bit sketchy, and also round a wee bit further it's still sketchy. That actually is the slightly easier bit. The path goes right along the top of the crags, the best path, but there are others which are further up, which are a bit more dodgy, but then you don't have that right on the edge. Okay, well, it's done. 2 hours maybe to Karseg. This is Karseg's Arches and Malcolm's Point, and my name is Malcolm, and it always sounds to me like a question. So whether I've answered that question or not, I'm not sure. But Malcolm's Point on a grey, cold, rainy day, and the Karseg Arches. So very happy that's behind me.
So when I've been saying they're goat tracks, these are literally goat tracks that I'm walking on. This is very unusual in Scotland, a herd of goats. I think it's only on Mull in this area.
This is Casig Bay, and then the next one round is where I want to get to, if possible. This is Casig Bay, where we come from, across the bay, on this rather sweet path through the trees. So here we are, and I found the coastal path. So I've also found the library, way to the library as well, so that's interesting. Again, the path, which was beautiful, is now back to stones, rocks, but the environment is just spectacular. It is a better path so far. The bit through the trees was lovely, and here we are. It's kind of better defined. This looks like the first place I've actually seen on this route, on the coastal path, where you could actually camp. So it's just past these rocks, about a mile from Casig Bay, and you could probably get some tent. It's flat, it's rocky underneath. You get some tent pegs in, I expect. And yeah, water is about maybe a quarter mile back.
Mull is famous for its geology. Here are basalt columns, and some of the rocks that are in this area are 2,000 million years old. Others more recent volcanic rocks such as these. It leads to this incredible landscape which you can see on the coast.
So it's the time of year. Ferns. They're just all around me. The path was here. It's not a problem, it's just annoying. They're about, well, they're 6 foot, 5 foot, 6 foot high. So I'm going to go back and try to get to the shore, and then pick my way around the shore to where I can find a path again.
The last obstacle is this wall of rock, but there's ropes there to show you the way, and they're a bit old, but it's not too bad.
So finally arrived in this bay. I don't remember the name. I'll pop that in later. And the idea is that we're trying to get to here, over the top. There's a path that goes through the woods and then on the top of this bit and along a sort of ridge there, which I think I could see underneath the cliffs. And that's marked on the map, and I would presume that's the best way to go. It's just a house for the sheep. Ceiling's fallen in. What a shame. What an amazing place to live. And want to do something with this would be, well, it's just the walls really, all you've got. Yeah. But what a place to live. Well, another day. Let's put that down, open up a bit, stop raining. Yep, look, this is my view. So I found a flat field, a little bit shaded from the wind, and just down from that cottage. That's the end of the coastal walk from Mull. From now on I'll be going over the hills, 2 lumps, then down to the coast just briefly, and then over another lump. This was the hard part, I think, fingers crossed. Otherwise it's over like 1800 foot, like 500 meters, something like that. The first lump tomorrow to a Bielach, and then down through a forestry commissioned forest, across the main road and up the other side to another Bielach which looks really spectacular, and then into a sort of mountain glen, and I hope to get there and camp. I'm going to cook. Oh, and sorry, there's a little spider there in my pot. Well, beautiful. Don't think you can see it. There he is, going around the rim. So the route is possible, and Karsig arches were impressive, and the path was particularly exposed and did scare me, but that's one of the things that you come on one of these walks for, is to test yourself. So, and that test was not so much physical as mental, because I don't think there was too much danger of falling off the path, but it did feel very exposed. I was wondering if I could find the path. It's marked on the map, and here it is, covered in a few ferns, but we'll get along it. I can see it there by the tree. Ferns again. It's just the time of year. They've just come up. Oh, about 4 weeks ago they would have been much smaller, easy. 2 months ago they weren't there at all. They come up at this time of year, get big and die off in the autumn. Right, so we're here now on the hillside. Should be a path, should be an obvious path leading up to my left. So let's see where we can find that. Oh, there's a wee view. This is what Scotland normally looks like. Just turn this around for you. Get it. And we're going up to there, where the blue sky is. So there must be a path, maybe there. Shouldn't be too difficult. Either go to there and then I think I'll go that way, or there's a wee path here, go straight up and find it. That's that. Well, there was a path, but the path is pretty indistinct. Let me show you. Anyway, we're going up, trying to follow the path up here, and then it goes above that quite steep area and round to the end here, and over there. The path follows a kind of contour. The slope goes up, and then there's a little flat bit, then it goes up, and then there are cliffs. So it goes along that flat bit. I couldn't see it, and it really is indistinct, but that's where it goes. And you just fall. It's a bit easier to walk on that flat area rather than the sloping bit, which I did. Right, so I'm going to go now and see if I can get round this mountain top, hilltop, and down the other side to the forestry. It seems to be clearing up, so that's good news. Second hill of the day. Sometimes I forget there's a backpack on my back, so I'm making extra effort to take another break and not time myself too much. I came down the side of the forest this morning rather than go into it, and looking back at it, it seems like I could have gone in at the top and come down pretty clear. Would have been more direct. However, if you get stuck having to go through forest, it's a nightmare. Pine forest, all the commercial stuff, is just horrible. It's like 1 mile an hour and everywhere is wet, and it's horrible. You can't navigate.
The slopes of Ben More, the highest mountain on Mull. The path runs down the right-hand side of the valley, and near the bottom you could see Loch Bar. There are good places to camp round about there, but I went a bit further on to the end of the loch, and I was lucky to find just this wee spot.
A beautiful forest walk. Now, probably the hardest part of the day begins, and I'm going to go up around the edge of the forest. That will take me across the road and onto a trail, and from there to a loch. I was walking along, and I came to the top of that, just out of the blue. I didn't notice it on the map, and I think it's just a small feature on the map, but the grass just sort of came down to the edge. So I walked around, but yeah, it's right in the path. Well, there's no path, but it's right in the way that you would go.
Instead of going off and over onto more rough ground, I decided just to keep to the forest track and walk all the way along, and then take the road down to Tobermory. It seemed the most sensible way. I'd spend a nice night in a campsite, and then I could start fresh from Tobermory the next day. Tobermory is a fantastic small town, great to resupply in. There's an ironmonger where I could buy a gas cylinder and a new compass, and the ferry was waiting there to take me over to the mainland. So that's the first leg of the trip. That's the Mull trail from Iona to Tobermory done. Next is Ardnamurchan to Glenfinnan.